you need to start swapping the way you look at symptoms of problems and causes of problems, because it will change your life. And I'll explain this concept very, very simply, because this video could be one of the most important videos you're going to watch today. So to clarify, right? If you'd say to someone something stereotypical like,
you need to stop watching Netflix, right? You need to stop scrolling TikTok for hours a day.
what's the reply most people will give?
Come on, I've worked all day today, I've been at school, this is my downtime.
So with that statement, the suggestion is that TikTok and Netflix sessions are a symptom of a deeper problem. That's what the person is implying. They're implying that the problem is the work and the symptom of the problem is the need for downtime. Which brings me on to my lesson point for today. This is false. It's our further choices that are now new problems, that are in fact now the instigators for the furthering of the downward trajectory of our mental and physical state that needs addressing. So whilst you may have gone down the route of scrolling social media endlessly because your parents argue so much downstairs and it's just too much, the social media addiction and excessive procrastination is now an individual additional problem of its own. You might have gone down the route of smoking weed and doing drugs as an escape from emotional trauma in your past. But the drug problem is now an individual additional problem of its own. Instant gratification and engaging in bullshit may be understandable, but by definition, it's not a reason. And I'll end on this. When you work a job you hate, when you live in a house that you hate, when you have circumstances that you hate, the last thing you want to do is something productive, something that saps more energy out of you, something that you don't feel like doing. Everybody understands, nobody's saying it's easy, but that's exactly why you need to do it. And this is the problem in the modern world that didn't exist before. You do hate your job. You do hate school, that's fine. You hate the idea of working a 9 to 5 forever and never trying a supercar, but you don't feel the hatred because it's constantly suppressed by your choices to distract yourself from the hatred. You have to push yourself in a state of depression and anxiety and hatred into further anxiety and depression and hatred to initiate growth. A seed has to crack and be buried in darkness before it sprouts into a strong plant and sees the light. Muscles tear and hurt more after the gym session before they can grow and strengthen. Breaking off a toxic relationship feels even worse than the abuse you may have been prior facing before you start to heal and move on. Growth always starts with an initial downfall before it can start on that upward trajectory. But for as long as you're preventing yourself from reaching that point of desperation and being sick and tired of being sick and tired, you will not initiate the process of growth, and you must change this if you want to change that.